Hey everybody, it's TF Note. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Marvel Legends series, Spider-Man Retro Collection, Marvel's Kingpin. Man, this is probably one of the biggest packagings I've ever seen, to be quite honest, for a 6-inch action figure. So, what we have here is basically a re-release of the Build-A-Figure Kingpin that came out, I want to say like early 2019, maybe 2018, I don't exactly remember. But that Waves release was honestly pretty abysmal. I never found any of the figures in that series. That was the same one, same series as Red Goblin, Silver Sable, all of that. I just really wanted the Kingpin Build-A-Figure out of all those figures. I honestly didn't want any of them. And I'm glad that I'm pretty sure Hasbro knew that this was a pretty horrible release, and they decided to just give us a different version, slightly different version with the paint apps and all that, and give it a single carded release. And I'm hoping that they do that for Rhino, honestly. I was never able to get Rhino. So, yeah, very excited to finally get this out of the packaging. He's one of my favorite Marvel villains. So, without further ado, I want to talk about the packaging. It is very much like what they did with the rest of the series that we have so far with the retro figures. But with this one here, it's just a very big packaging. I have a, standard size 6-inch figure packaging from the retro collection, just to give you an idea of how big this is. We look towards the top here, you can see where it says Marvel Comics, ages 4 and up. You see that nice image of Spider-Man, as well as it says Spider-Man right there with the webs and all the city backdrops right there. We move down towards the bottom there, or really towards the middle. It says Kane Accessory, Marvel's Kingpin with that nice image there. You can see the figure in the box. We look towards the back, you can see that image that was on the front of the packaging, also on the back there. We have a read-up of Kingpin. You can see the alternate heads being switched for this guy. And then towards the bottom, you can see all 6 figures that have been released so far. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and get this packaging opened. So here's Kingpin out of the packaging. This is a really well done figure. I am very happy to finally have a Kingpin in my Marvel Legends collection. There are some problems overall with the figure, mostly with articulation, but it is still a very solid figure. Let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories that he comes with, and we'll take a closer look at the figure. So he comes with 2 different heads. You saw the one that he comes packaged with is more of a beat-up head. This is more of a normal Wilson Fisk head here. We got these, I'm fairly certain, with the original release of the Kingpin wave. But this time around, it's just kind of the same thing. Not much different. I don't think there's anything different about it. The right eye looks like it's going a little bit inward, but it's not too bad. I really do like the expression overall and the details and all that. It's just really nice looking. This is awesome. He also comes with this cane, which is a little flimsy looking. It is a little bit of a harder plastic, but unfortunately mine is warped. So I can fix that on my own though. It has this nice little clear translucent plastic piece that looks like a like a diamond, so that's pretty nice. Some nice gold paint here. The rest of it is just, I think it's molded in this brown plastic here, and it's just supposed to look like a wood cane. It doesn't really have any wood detailing though, but it's still nice to have an accessory like this. He holds this pretty well. So here is a quick 360 of the Kingpin figure. It is very well done. This is very much the same thing that we got with the previous Kingpin Build-A-Figure. This time around, though, the differences are mostly paint apps. I think the chest might be different. So these the shoes used to be black, of course. These used to be white. Same thing with pretty much the whole pants. I'm pretty sure this vest, where there's orange now, it used to be white as well. This is a different piece here. There used to be a tie, and I think they actually sculpted a different part of the chest to make an ascot here. But on the previous one, it's just a black tie. Everything else was relatively the same. Maybe this handkerchief was a different color last time. I don't know. I don't own any of the Build-A-Figure pieces. But it's very much a lot of the same, just a little bit of new. But it's supposed to be a more classic looking Kingpin, and I think they did a good job. I really like this head sculpt that's all damaged and stuff. Is this just paint apps? Yeah, these are mostly just paint apps, so that's kind of disappointing. I wish there was actual sculpting there, but it's fine. The paint apps came out pretty nice. There's nice bruising in the eye there. A nice angry expression. I do wish there was more bruises throughout the rest of the head, like on the forehead and all that, but I mean, you do get some nice veins and wrinkles throughout the forehead, so that's good, at least. This is just a really nice head. I think I'm going to mostly package them with the alternate head, the one that's just more of a stern face, but this is still pretty nice to have. The blue ascot came out pretty nice with lots of nice wrinkles in the details there. It's mostly just painted in a one color of blue, but there is a little bit of a, I don't know if that's a button right there, but there's a little bit of gold. The orange in person, really mostly on camera, does look a little different from here. I think this is molded in orange. I could be wrong. It might actually be painted. But anyway, it just looks to me like two different types of oranges, which isn't the greatest. But it's only really noticeable on camera. The black buttons came out really nice. There's a nice soft, soft plastic piece here for the coat, which is cool, which has some nice wrinkles. There really isn't any paint app, so that's a little disappointing. Maybe, I don't know if their shading would have helped or whatnot. The handkerchief came out nice with that nice little red paint there. There's no splotching. Nice wrinkles in the arms. Those are very cool. I wish we did get two pairs of hands. So we got two fists and maybe two open hands. But we just have one open hand, one fist for this guy. This is meant for holding a cane in different positions. And then this hand has a nice ring, as you can see on there, with a nice dark red and some gold around it. That's pretty nice. The pants are nicely sculpted. I also feel like there's different colors of purple going on here when it comes to like the crotch area and down towards the lower legs and upper legs. But the wrinkles towards the cuffs are really nice. There really just isn't any detailing. That's my biggest problem mostly with this figure is just that, two problems, which we'll talk about. The articulation in a second being a problem. And there really isn't much paint going on here. The feet are really nicely detailed, though. These shoes are really good. I really dig them. They're a little glossy. A lot of this figure is pretty glossy, but it works for the shoes. These look really nice. These are what the bottom of the feet look like. So, like I said earlier, articulation isn't the strongest just because this guy is so bulky and the sculpt gets in the way of a lot of it. The head does go up a decent amount. The down movement, I think in the previous one was probably alright, but just because we have this new sculpted piece, which you may be able to fake it and go a little bit above it. Just because of this ascot, it really does not want to go down. It does have a good side to side. The head pops off a little too easily. Arms could go all the way around. They go in and out. These Build-A-Figure pieces, by the way, they're pretty, and I'm not having the best luck right now, but they are removable just because it was a Build-A-Figure before. So I didn't do that on camera just because it was hard for some reason to reach over and do that. Anyway, we do have a single jointed elbow, which does not bend very well, unfortunately, but it does get a swivel out there. We do have a swivel at the wrist as well as a hinge at the wrist. The forward, I had to push it forward a little too much. I'm afraid I'm going to break it, but that's the only... I can't go forward. It really does not want to go forward or back at all. This is just this ball joint system where it can really sort of go side to side. It's really meant to go all the way around. And it really doesn't look that good, honestly. So ab articulation is pretty disappointing. I'm not going to be getting him in the most dynamic of poses, but it still would have been good to somewhat figure out how to get that articulation in there. Legs go forward that much, which is not great. Back, not really at all. In and out is still pretty good. The upper thigh swivel is really well done. We have a single joint knee, which doesn't bend very well. Actually, you get a little bit of an extra bend out there. Swivels at the knee as well. We do have a swivel here at the foot, which is very hard to rotate because of the cuffs. The up and down is almost non-existent. The up is a little bit better than the down. It's just not very good. It does have a bit of an ankle rocker, but the sculpting also gets in the way of that. So, lacking in articulation, sadly, but what it doesn't have in articulation, it makes up for in, just a really nicely looking figure. So for size comparisons, we have some Build-A-Figures here. We have the 2020 version of the Venom figure, the Monster Venom there. And then we have the Lizard Build-A-Figure there on the right. And then we have some normal size figures. On the left, we have the new Retro Collection Daredevil. And on the right, we have the new Motorcycle Punisher. And then we have the Retro Collection Spider-Man on the left with the 2016 Miles Morales on the right. And then we have the Retro Collection Green Goblin with the 2017 Man-Thing series Bullseye on the right. And then last but not least, we have on the left Marvel Legends Stan Lee, and on the right we have the movie Deadpool. So to end this review, I'm going to show you what this figure looks like with some of his accessories as well as some other Marvel Legends figures. I'm also going to show off the Shadow King head sculpt that came with the comic book Professor X last year on this guy, since I never got around to actually using that head sculpt. I wanted to see what it looked like on his body. It looks pretty good. This figure overall is really well done. It does have some problems though. The biggest problem I have is that the sculpt gets in the way of articulation. I mean, it's not the most agile character. I don't need him to do the craziest of poses, so I'm pretty fine with what we have when it comes to articulation. He's mostly just going to be standing there menacingly. So, yeah, that's fine, but other things like, I mean, not really problems with paint per se, but it just seems like there's not a lot of paint going on. It looks a little plain in some areas, mostly in the pants and the coat and all that, but I mean, it still really looks good. It's a nice, classic Wilson Fisk, and it's honestly everything I've wanted when it comes to a Kingpin figure. Now, the only other issue is that I wish he came with some maybe alternate hands and all that, but I mean, it's still a really nice figure. $30, and I have no idea what retailers are going to be carrying this. Most likely GameStop. I have no idea if Walmart or Target even consider getting this, just because it's so big and might, break off the shelves when it's hung up there. But I got mine on Amazon for pre-order, and I think Big Bad Toy Store has it in stock as well. Probably Entertainment Earth. I'll be leaving links down in the description below where you can get this. Thank you guys very much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below what you think about the figure, what you think about the review. Leave a like, share amongst your friends, and I will see you guys later.